Good morning, Colorado, and today's Colorado Mortgage and Home Loan Rate Update is for Wednesday, the 14th of September, and really all good economic news. Let me take that back. Uh, it's really bad economic news, which is good for bonds, and that kind of shows that my whole perspective has been what's good for bonds, which means lower interest rates. Uh, but we do need really good economic news to help the economy recover. As I mentioned, everything was really bad, which is good for bonds and interest rates. So in the rates go down category, retail sales, last month they were only up 0.5%. Then they were revised downward by 0.3%, and this month it's in at zero. So in other words, we're going in the opposite direction for sales, and that falls right along with the declining consumer confidence that we have. People are not willing to spend, and because of that, their discretionary income has dropped 2.2%. And we need for consumers to spend and to help get the economy going. Now, the producer price index, which is a measure of wholesale inflation, came in at zero, which is good because that's where it needs to be, and that's very friendly for bonds, which means, once again, lower interest rates. And here's the mortgage-backed securities market. As you can see, we've been still trading within a very narrow trading range, and you can see that we have this downward trend, and it's like a head and shoulders, and we should have actually closed up above here, but we haven't. Now we're at the bottom of the trading edge, trading range, which means we should actually bounce up, but we haven't, and that's really kind of surprising. Even with all this positive news, which is bond friendly, we should actually see that, and that concerns me because what's going to end up happening is if this continues, I see more of a major correction happening, which means higher interest rates. So in summary, there's talk of the Eurobond issue. And that's providing a lot of hope to the markets. There's talk of $1 trillion being floated to help out the crisis in Greek and the European countries. So that has had a positive effect upon the stock market and all that. The French banks have been downgraded. Hasn't really caused any flight to quality to our bonds. So there's no problem with that. Now, the 10-year auction was really bad yesterday, and because of that, I think tomorrow's auction for the 30-year should be a lot better, because even with the 10-year being bad, the bonds really didn't react negatively, which is good. As I already mentioned, retail sales is flat, very disappointing. The PPI is very encouraging, and when you take a look at it, the annualized rate is 2.5%. So that is right on target for the Fed. So all that is good for the economy. Now, tomorrow is big with the consumer price index, which is much more important than the PPI. And as I mentioned before, with all the bond-friendly news, which means all the negative news for the economy, bonds should be up, which means rates should be lower, but they're not. Now, the thought of the day, but in the mud and scum of things, there's always something sings. There's always something sings, and that's by one of my favorite philosophers, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Can't even talk right now. Sorry me, but I like this for a couple of reasons. In this whole global financial mess that we have, all the countries are trying to help each other, and anytime there's a glitter of hope or some slight of improvement, everybody becomes encouraged, and I think that's what the market is singing, and that's how come the Dow is actually doing better. Now is a great time to refinance your Colorado mortgage or home loan, and if you're looking at buying a new Colorado home, your dream home, definitely give me a call. I'll properly advise you so you can make an informed decision. Always like to hear what your comments are as far as today's commentary and rate update. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please put them down below and I'll get back with you. And as always, only wanting the best for you. Take care.